You want to build a more massive, dense, and thick back. You want to grow those traps, those rear delts, and those biceps to match. Well, you're in the right place, because today I'm going to share with you the back workout that I've been using specifically to bring up the thickness of my back. At the moment, I have 2 back workouts per week. One day focusing on thickness and the other focusing on width. Now, back thickness day, which is shown in this video, is by far one of the most basic and foundational training days in my plan. I utilize mostly barbells and dumbbells here, and the only other thing you really need is a pull-up bar and a cable machine. In general, this is by far my favorite way to train any muscle. But if you want to build density to your physique, I can't see it being done any other way. Now let's start with the first exercise of the day, barbell row. We're going to do 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps here. For this exercise, we're going to focus on a 90-degree angle here, but we want to make sure we're not going all the way till the bar touches the floor. Not yet, at least. We want to focus on getting a full stretch of the back while keeping the lower back tight and safe. Next, we're going to move on to the dead stop row variation. Again, we're going to do this for 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps. On this variation, each and every rep should be deloaded on the floor. We want to break all the momentum each rep and let the upper back do the work, while simultaneously trying to remove the lower back as much as possible. These reps should be clean and strict here. Keep in mind, this exercise is extremely humbling, so don't stress lifting extremely heavy right away here. Next, we're going to move on to an exercise that's as old school as it gets. That's wide grip pull-ups for 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps. There's 2 things we want to do here. We want a wide grip, and we also want to pull all the way up to the clavicle. This will force the upper back to do most of the work on this training day here. By going for that deep stretch and pulling that bar all the way to the clavicle, we're going to recruit a lot more of the teres major and the upper back here. So understand that it's key here for this exercise to get that full range of motion. So if you're not strong enough to do this, do so with an assisted pull-up machine or use bands. Next, we're going to move on to the traps and we're going to hit barbell shrugs. For this exercise, 2 sets of 15 to 20 reps. We want to do these as strict as possible while emphasizing the stretch at the bottom and full contraction at the top. That means that even if you can shrug 4 or 5 plates, you should probably reduce that load to even half and make sure that you're using the greatest range of motion rather than the greatest amount of weight you could lift. Leave those bouncy reps in the gym for the guys with the small traps. Now, after we've nailed the middle back and the traps, we're going to finish off the final touches here by hitting the rear delts and everything that ties in between the middle back, the upper back, and the traps. We're going to do rope face pulls here for 2 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Squeezing those rear delts and that upper back is key here. This movement is not a mass builder, but it will tie in all the gaps that you may have missed with those heavy compounds, so don't skip it. Don't try to max out the weight stack here. Using too much weight will cause the rhomboids to overcompensate. That'll take the tension off the rear delts. I want you to use the heaviest load you can here while still keeping the tension on the rear delts specifically. That's it for the upper back, traps, and rear delts here. Now to complete this workout, we just have to finish off biceps. First, we're going to do alternating dumbbell curls for 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Basic alternating dumbbell curls to build the mass and strength of the biceps. For this exercise, I personally like to focus on heavy weight, and I'll allow my form and technique to get a little bit loose on some of the last reps, but I always focus on keeping strict negatives. If you do these correctly, your arms will grow. Next, we're going to move on to dumbbell hammer curls here. Again, 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps. This is primarily to hit the brachialis. Developing the brachialis is going to help push the bicep up when you're flexing, especially in a double bicep pose. If you have small arms, don't skip these. Now, this can be another movement where you could really load up the weight, but I encourage you, aim to keep these as strict as possible, especially on the negative. Now, finally, to finish off the biceps, we're going to do one more exercise here with a straight bar cable curl. 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps. What we're going to focus on with this exercise is to contract really hard at the top of the movement. We've already exhausted the biceps with heavy dumbbell curls and heavy hammer curls. This last movement is specifically to take an exercise that focuses specifically on peak contraction of the movement. So don't neglect the top of this exercise. Now, this entire workout is one that I've been using exclusively for the last few years to bring up my back thickness, and one that I've been training with a modified push-pull leg split. If you like this workout and you want to find the entire training plan, including this specific workout, you can check out my old school push-pull legs program. Included, there's options to train as little as 3 days a week, up to 6 days per week, and all the way to using advanced splits with rotating schedules beyond a 7-day week. You can find the program and all the options available below. And if you like this video and you want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.